do competitor research. Like, these people haven't got to the top for a look, they've got there for a reason. So look at what these people have done, and don't carbon copy, because everyone's got to be different, but just put it in a way where your audience take to that as well. If your audience likes photos, post photos. If your audience likes videos of you doing tracks, you posting backstage clips or gig clips, etc., then go with your audiences. The data doesn't lie.
Hey, I'm Graham Farmer, founder of the dance music magazine Data Transmission and Twitch partner, streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 p.m. On this channel, we share the full interviews from my Twitch streams. But before we jump into this interview, if you can help this video get more reach by giving it a like and a comment, it'd be most appreciated. And don't forget to consider subscribing so you always get notified when we drop new interviews. Rhys Jackson, hey, how you doing, Dudio?
So what's happening?
How are you? Welcome to the Twitch, and welcome to my disco shed in my garden.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, excited to be part of the data transmission community.
On my streams, Rhys, because it's lunchtime, we have, this started a long time ago, and it's been part of the streams for a long time. We're into meal deals, and for a bit of fun, we all have our favourite meal deal. The kind of regular Tesco, Sainsbury's. My meal deal, I actually had a meal deal today, and I literally had this raspberry Pepsi Max with it, which has been, I had some and I was like, and then I can't start getting into it, and I've necked it. But my meal deal today was prawn sandwich, quavers, and a raspberry Pepsi, which is literally the random selections. But do you have a go-to meal deal favourite?
Yeah, it's controversial, but I love them, like breakfast ones, like the breakfast triples. Yeah, like not many people like them. Like, they're a bit controversial with the cold bacon, etc. But I'll have one of them, chocolate brownie, and like either a Capri Sun or a Tropicana, like just something small, like decadent.
Wow. I used to have the breakfast triple. I love the breakfast triple, but it's so bad on the old belly.
Oh no, yeah, like it's like just like people like look at you like and discuss like cold bacon and sausage, but they're so good.
I love them. It's literally my favourite, and it's also the white bread and the sausage, and it's just like, yeah, I can't have them anymore.
One's brown, one's ketchup, and one's plain.
Yeah, that's it. I love them. Shelley said it was lush with the spiced rum. That's the raspberry Pepsi, not the prawn sandwich. Right. Okay, so that's so you had a brownie, breakfast triple, and a Capri Sun. That's cool.
Yeah. I love like tropical like juice, like so like if it can be like the tropical.
Cool. Right, so we're going to talk about T In Techno, but I just thought we'd talk about you. I saw a post that you said 7 years ago you were a PE teacher, and now you're kind of working in social media. And I thought we'd kind of just start with that little journey, because that sounds epic. Yeah. So tell us.
Yeah, so, well, I wanted to be a PE teacher like 7-8 years ago. So I finished school with, like, I wasn't too good in school, to be honest with you. So my best grades were like PE and like sports, etc. So I went on to do sports in college. Like, I did outdoor education, which is like rock climbing, skiing, etc. Like nothing that you'd think now, like that I'd be doing now, and like sports science, etc. So I wanted to go on, potentially go to uni or do outdoor education as like, something involved with that. But then it just 360. Like, just literally, I created T In Techno in the second year of me being in college when I was 18, and we literally just grew from there. And that's when my mindset just changed in my second year of college. That, yeah, this isn't for me anymore. I completed the second year, and that was it. Like, I dropped out.
Oh, yeah. So you dropped out. So, yeah, I kind of did that with uni. I did a couple of years and then basically got a job in web development. This was in 2000, when obviously there was a massive, when the .com bubble was there. And I was like, I've kind of learned everything. I was learning more working on this job than I was like when I was actually in university. And I was like, I'm just going to focus on the job. But yeah, that's mental. So you dropped out for 2 years. So yeah, you created it. There's 3 of you, isn't there? Is that right?
Yeah, there's 3 of us. Yeah, so there's like me and 2 brothers. So Ollie and Jack, they're the 2 brothers. like Ollie does it full time for us. So like he's the head of the business really, and we've all been driving forward in many different ways. We're all in like different industries, like in terms of like our full time jobs. So we all have a pitching idea on like different ways and stuff like that. So it's cool, like really cool. Like especially I've known them all. Like they used to live down the road from me, like from when I was very young. So we've all like known each other. It's not like we're all in random towns. It's like we've all grew up with each other, like sort of thing.
Cool. So was it all kind of that all started, you three start kind of all together at the start, and then, or was it kind of coming, how did that work? Where did the idea come from?
I started it in September 2017. Like literally we were just like, it was me, we started as a Twitter platform. It sounds mad because I started it as to sell playlists. So literally my Spotify, old Spotify, if I can get hold of this, it's gold dust, like to the right bio. Like, I used to I didn't work or anything when I was like, this is when I was in college. I didn't work or anything because I was in college, like sort of thing. And all I used to do is sit there and just listen to like SoundCloud and like, I'd find tunes like Tech House, like the old school Patrick Topping. I used to love that sort of stuff. I'd find like house tracks, techno tracks, tech house tracks, acid, etc., and put them into like playlists. So I had like 500 playlists with like max out tunes, and like Ollie said to me, "Why don't you like go and sell them off to DJs?" I was like, maybe that's a shout. And like I messaged MK, Route 94, and they didn't buy them off me. I gave them like, but they were the first interactions that I first ever had, and MK was the first interaction we ever had, and that's absolutely massive considering what he's been like for the past however many years, like 20, 30 years, And then I never really went to an event, and like I was still like 18, and where I'm from, Telford, there's not much of a dance scene at all. Like, honestly, it's terrible. And then we went to me and Jack and a few of my mates went to an event in Birmingham. It was Patrick Topping, Salado, Pauser in the old Rainbow venue.
Yeah.
And then I just videoed this. I videoed Patrick Topping and Salado, put it up online. Patrick Topping retweeted it, and we went from like 1 follower to like 1,000. It was like, what the hell's just going on? like Patrick Topping and like Salado like both retweeted on like the same night, and the views like on everything just like skyrocketed, and it was like, okay, there's something going on here, like sort of thing. What is this? Bearing in mind, I knew nothing about social media back then. I was outdoor education, like just going ahead, just posting these videos, like sort of thing. So like it got to December and it got too big basically, and like they all came with the idea, let's just make it into something proper. And then 5 years later, here we are, like
That's mental. The whole Twitter thing, this is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, the Twitter, because the whole Twitter thing absolutely bemuses me. I think I understand. I kind of think I understand YouTube, and I think I understand Instagram, and I kind of tell a load of people about Instagram and stuff, and kind of I kind of get that, and I kind of get both platforms. But Twitter, just absolutely, everything I try with it, and I think I'm doing it. Everything I think I'm doing it wrong, it's just wrong. So it's firstly, well done for growing a Twitter page, because holy crap!
Well, the one thing about it is mainly why I think we did so well and continue to do so well is there's so many of these pages like us that I can name you 50, 100 off the top of my head right now, and especially big ones as well. Is none of them have got Twitter. You may see one or two, and we were the only one to have. We didn't have an Instagram or Facebook till December 2017.
Wow.
We're all organic, like I could send you receipts from 2017. We've not put a penny on it, we're all organic, etc. Like literally, it's so like in terms of like that, we're not the biggest on the platforms, but like not saying implying people spend money, but some people put ads on, etc. Of course,
yeah.
But like in terms of Twitter, we were the only ones on there, so there was no competitors. Let's say there was no people really posting like us on Twitter, and still to this day you'll only find a handful, and we've been on it since September 2017. So if they did want to be that big, they may start off with 0, but they've got to come up to like 100,000. By the time they're at 100,000, we might be on 300,000. So it's always like a chasing game for them. But with Twitter, it's mainly you can't take yourself too seriously, no matter who you are. Like obviously politicians a bit different. They're not in the music industry, but music industry, you'll see it like the likes of Salado just taking the mic, Scream, etc. And it's like you've got to have a different behavior to Twitter than anywhere else. YouTube, Instagram, they're all forward facing. You're going to be massive on there. Same with Facebook. It's a bit different to Twitter, but Twitter is where people have to laugh. It's just. And plus, with the reach of going viral on Twitter, let's say if we've got 100,000 followers, I've got 300 followers, my personal account, that's 1,300 followers just off 2 retweets, then you tag an artist with 100,000, that's gone to 200, 300,000 people just off like 3 retweets, and, no matter you go onto that as well, you can go viral literally off one thing. We had a video get like 25 million views. Like I posted it like a year ago. Well, like I posted it on the year, and then like next year it just went massive out of nowhere. And literally it just went from like 1,000 views to 20 million, and we gained like 25,000 followers just on this video. It was absolutely crazy.
What was the video?
It was like Cole Cox on the beach, and everyone said he looked like Thanos or something. And it was like it just went viral, and all these like I didn't know. I've never watched like Marvel or anything, so like I was like, "What is this?" And I had to ask my mates, like, "What is this guy? What is this on about?" And they were like, "Oh, it's from Avengers." I was like, "Oh, flipping out!" And all these like spammy like Japanese American accounts were like saying it, like I didn't have a clue what was going on, and then. It got put up by like meme pages, like massive ones in America, and just blew us up massively from there.
That is mental. And surround sound in the chat. Do you know I was thinking exactly the same thing? I was waiting for someone to put the Hulk fist in the chat. I love the Hulk, and the mention of not watched any Marvel at all. I was waiting for literally one of the shedheads in the chat to just drop in the Hulk. We have Hulk emotes in the chat as well. That's how much I've even got a little Hulk here, a little mini Hulk. Hi, little mini Hulk.
No, honestly, so it's like pretty bewildered. But with Twitter, it's such a different platform to everyone else. It's probably the most undervalued platform out there, really, to be honest with you, in terms of because it's Instagram. It's Facebook's a bit more corporate. TikTok, it's video facing, etc., like Instagram, and like Instagram old school was like photos as well, so it's mainly like forward facing. But with Twitter, it's where people actually have a laugh. You'll go on there and you'll just see the most obscene stuff that you'll ever see. Like it's like not censored, everyone's just out there to have a laugh. And if you can't, it's where you can really show your personality really as well. And with musicians as well, you got to think you're musicians, you're not politicians. Like, people are fans of you. That's what musicians really forget, that people are actually fans. You're not a football club where there's 41, 21 of you. There's just one person, and that's you. So to build your career, you've got to have fans, and to have fans that actually know you, buy your tracks, buy your merchandise. They've got to know you. You've got to have a community. You can't show your personality on a photo on Instagram or Facebook. You can show it on the video, but you've got to show it off in text as well, like how your real personality is. And that's why I think people like Scream, etc., do well, because people know what Scream's about. Like, all you got to do is just look at his Twitter and know what he's about. I'm not going to say it, but like everyone knows what he's about. And like Salado as well, they know what they're about. And people love their personalities. Some people get triggered by it, but 90% of people absolutely love them for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's probably why, because I think I hold myself back too much on Twitter. I think because I've been on Twitter for a long time, and for ages I didn't grow at all. And I think then it was definitely the wrong content for sure. I wasn't posting any video on there. I was just literally tweeting text. But I think now I'm just literally don't put stuff out there because I'm like, do I really want people to know that? Do I really want people to kind of engage with that? Like, I literally self like audit myself, and I'm like, because you go on there to go and say something, and they're like, do I really want to go engage with that conversation? Like I literally work the conversation through in my head, and I'm like, if I say that, someone's going to come back and say that, then someone's going to say that, and then I'll say that, and then I've wasted half an hour of my life, and I could go and make a video and push myself forward, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to bother with that. I'll just come off and I've got so many tweets in drafts that I've gone, should I tweet that? And I'm like, no, let's just stay out of it.
One thing about it as well is like, you just see you'll just see normal people like myself, and like, can get a tweet go from like 0 to 300,000 is just like follow the chain. And, you know, it's just the one thing you got to do, you know, obviously, you know, you can't be, you know, hateful or anything, etc., you know, racist, etc. But like in terms of content, you know, it's all, you know, speak your mind, you know, in terms of like stuff like that, obviously within reason, you know, you're not going to put yourself out massively, but in terms of like with these tweets, it's, you know, showing off your personality as much as possible, you know, obviously you're not going to cancel yourself, but like the more you can do it, you know, people will thank you for it. And, you know, building an audience online, you know, like people have an off-camera and on-camera persona, but but the people that do it 100% truthfully are the ones that go all the way. You know, like all these massive YouTubers. You know, they'll have a camera persona, but when they're on camera, people love that. And it's like people on socials as well. People love how they tweet, how they use their Instagram. It's the same with DJs as well, but they just don't show off. I don't know if they don't want to get cancelled or etc. The way how stuff is, but like, you know, people love a personality. And for me, the best person who does it is Scream, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I like sometimes the camel fat, and there's people who'll tweet them going, "Oh, you didn't play Cola again," and they're just like, and then they'll either brush it off or they'll go in and go, "Really, it was fucking years ago."
That's what I mean. It's all about fan interaction as well. You know, like let's say, like Camel Fat, for example, Fisher. You know, they got millions of followers, so going through, you know, 8,000 comments, not going to do it. But with Twitter, you may only get like 50 to 100, where you can really get to your fans as well. You know, you can quote retweet your fans, you know, have a laugh, and, you know, they take it well as well. Like, you know, they're buzzing with it as well. And it's like, you know, it's the main thing for me, really. Like Twitter, it's that I see people don't use as much as they should do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it kind of went through a phase where it was really good and everyone was on it, and then all of a sudden it kind of dropped down because everyone was on Instagram and everyone was going through it, or Snapchat, then Instagram, and definitely over the last, I don't know, maybe 2 years at least, I definitely have been, there's more people back on there and more people kind of using Twitter a lot more. I definitely changed my personal Twitter strategy because I unfollowed everybody for a while and then just went and followed stuff that I don't follow on other platforms, so that when I go on Twitter, it's like a different feed of different information to what's on Facebook, what's on Instagram, what's on LinkedIn, just to mix it up as well.
No, it's exactly the same. And it's like with your audiences as well. You know, let's say, you know, you're Camel Fat, you know, let's say you've got, you know, you're in good money, etc. You know, you've got to have a strategy for that. And I feel like every DJ should have this as well. So Twitter will bring you a different audience, you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you know, it's all time consuming, but, you know, if you can get someone to do it for you, or, you know, just someone with a bit of guidance, then you'd be winning, honestly. Let's say you've got, you know, let's say you're massive in, like, India's quite big, YouTube's quite big in India, let's say. So you'll mainly get a big Indian viewing, no matter who you are. From YouTube, it'll always be in your top 5, top 10, etc., no matter what your content is. So let's say you're relatively big in India on YouTube, but it'll be like your 40th biggest in Twitter. So then you can kind of cross them over, like, if that makes sense. So the more platforms you have, the more audiences that you can bring on to, you know, ultimately your brand as well. And that's what people forget to see, because, you know, you've got to be people don't like it. People think you should be a master of one or master of two. Well, you've limited yourself so much there because there's so many different platforms. I'd rather have 1 million on 6 platforms than 1 million on one, because I've only got one set of audience there. But I can always cross-promote and build up others, and that's what I think we've done really well. As, you know, we'll have like a link tree, let's say, you know, something very basic, and we'll always say, follow the Spotify, follow the YouTube, follow the Instagram. You know, 100,000 people on Twitter will see, you know, our Instagram. 100,000 people on our Instagram will see 600,000 on our Facebook, and it's the same with the DJ as well. What they don't do as well, they need to cross promote their platforms, and it's just like, you know, you've got to have every social media platform for me, to be honest with you.
How, like, if I'm starting, well, like these guys in the chat that are literally probably have in the chat gang, who has got a Twitter? Who is on Twitter and who is using Twitter? Harvest is on Twitter and he's connecting with artists. They're starting literally, or you know, they're starting Twitter today. What's winning on Twitter right now, content-wise? How do you build a Twitter right now, 2022?
Yeah, so for me, mainly, like, if you're an artist, let's say, it's mainly about your visuals and how stuff looks, because people will interact with what looks good, what sounds good. So let's say for us, for example, or, well, like other clients of mine as well, like, you know, what they'll do is they'll be more like video facing and just showing off their personality. Let's say you're a DJ and you're at Printworks, etc., and all the lights are going absolutely manic, like stuff like that, visually appealing stuff like that. But the main stuff as well that works as well is showing off your personality. So the more you can get across your personality on text, in video, it's almost another content creation platform, but mainly with copywriting instead, if that makes any sense.
Would you show off new music on there? Like if you just made a track, would you tweet out a kind of, like a teaser of something? Or would you use it, if you're thinking music promotion stuff, do you use it once it's ready and you can then tag the other labels and kind of tag whoever else is involved?
For sure. If with Twitter, it's almost one of them, like Facebook, they've got to be following you, or you got the hashtags, there's people viewing them hashtags. But Twitter, as I said, let's say if one person with 100,000 or a label with 50,000 retweets it, you're then in the face of however many the algorithm, let's say that's 40,000 people. That's 40,000 people that you've just been put onto the home feed of just off one person. So another 10 people do that. Could be another potential 80,000 people. So you with 5,000 followers, let's just put your track up, tag the label that you're going in on, you just open yourself up to 80,000 new people, more viewers, more viewership for your next stuff, and to follow you really on your journey. So that's why I think, Twitter for me is one of the main ones that people should get, to be honest with you. Well, not one of the main ones, but it's one that you should have. You shouldn't neglect it.
And so if you've got literally no followers and you're tweeting out there, do you can you use hashtags to grow the page?
Yeah.
Does that work still?
Yeah, hashtags work, especially when stuff's trending. I've been doing stuff for football clubs as well. And a lot of how they gained was jumping off the back of the Premier League. So we put hashtag football. You'll get put in a new different feed. So everyone who's looking at football on that day, will be trending and see your platform, your profile there. So it definitely work 100%. You've just got to know which ones are on that day, and there's ways of viewing that in the actual Twitter homepage.
That's interesting. And so locking into that trending stuff, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's everything that's trending. It's with Instagram, well, TikTok is the biggest trending thing ever. Sounds trending. If you can get you'll see people with no followers post of TikTok, get 300,000 views organically, and then next minute, they've got 10,000 followers just because they've used a trending video or a trending dance or a trending song, But it's just, how do you find that trending? And obviously, you've got to keep up. That's the one thing with socials. They change every week, every day, every minute, every week, every hour. And it's just if you can keep on top of it, you're golden, honestly.
So okay, so your Twitter started. So your Twitter started second year of uni. And then where? Sorry,
it's second year of college. Yeah,
second year of college. Even sorry, apologies. Second year of college. Where did it grow to? And then what was the next part of that little journey?
Yeah, so my friends joined in December 2018, and then we all started the Twitter. No, the Facebook and Instagram. We've been doing that for a few years now, and we've got the record label, T Records. We are, I believe, as of today, 50. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's the 54th biggest, best-selling techno label in the world now.
Hooray! Let's give it a little applause.
And it's that's after a few years. We've had very good, not to the very good big. We've had big artists, but mainly artists that we've seen, local talents or people that have sent us that we know really good tracks, and with our promotion. And Ollie does it full time, full credit to him. He runs the back end of everything, full credit to him, and Jack as well, for the promotion stuff as well. In terms of how we do it is we're very unique in the sense of we're not just a record label, we're a massive promotion page. People that are invested in our stuff view each other millions each month, So when we built the record label, it wasn't arrogance of, wow, this is going to do well, because we never knew it would do well. None of us have been in the music industry full time. It was just like a leap of faith into this record label, and it's paid off massively. We've had like a lad from Wales, Pridey's absolutely incredible. Like Mark Green from Ireland as well. Both got number one in the Beatport charts, beating the likes of Charlotte DeWitt's label, who's pretty much one of the biggest names in techno. And we just had a lad from Wales and a lad from Ireland, go on and beat a number one. Like it's not like beat us in competitiveness, but like in terms of we're still a very, Drum Code have been going for 30 years and we've only been going for like 2, almost 3 years now. So, tackling the likes of Charlotte DeWitt, Amelia Lenz, etc. is just, something that we'd never thought of, just like we knew, we all have like this mindset of, we know it can do well, but like you don't know it does well until it does well. It's not like a naivety. It's just like, it's just what we think we can do. And I think that's the main driver of what people should be thinking as well, like no one should have an ego, but you should go in there thinking, I'm going to do well, it's you and you only when it comes down to the thick of it, So if you can't believe in yourself, then who is going to believe in you, So it's
100%.
It's a massive thing for us, like the label is. We have like podcasts, we've had some of the biggest names like in the industry in hard techno, heavy techno, let's say. And yeah, it's been going really well, to be honest.
That's cool. So the label came like you built the channels, then the label came because you had the channels to kind of push the records and thought, why not sign some music? We're uploading everyone else's music, so why not sign some and see if we can see what we can do?
Yeah, it was always a thing. It was always a thing for us, It's like, we didn't think, oh yeah, as soon as we started the pages, we'll be a record label. Like never in a million years. Like, but it was always like once we got a bit bigger, it was always something that teetered on in the mind. And we've always been good at timing. Like shout out to Ollie as well. Like he's like good with timing as well. Like we didn't want to go too early and make ourselves look like idiots, and we didn't want to go too late and be, because it's such a saturated market. Like labels, like there's so many. I feel like every artist now is building a label because they don't want the stress of going to a label. They just make one themselves so they can upload whenever they want, and it's a good. But like if you're a record label, it's getting even more saturated. So we didn't want to be too late either. We knew that, like in a sense as well. Like, but yeah, it was mainly like perfect timing, really.
So your Facebook is your biggest channel, right?
Yeah, we've got about 700,000 people now, just under.
Fuck about. Has that? I mean, Facebook's dead, right? Though now no one uses it now. Must be that right?
It's not too bad. Like we still get like we still get like hundreds of thousands of plays, like sort of thing. But in terms of what we should be getting, it's not like the biggest. Like it's definitely slowed down a lot from back in the day. Like 100%. Like, but in terms of Facebook, it's
hundreds of thousands of plays. I'd say that's all right, though, dude.
No, like it's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I didn't mean that like to come across like that. It's just like it was like in terms of what it was though. Like Facebook was like huge. Like it was absolutely crazy, and it slowed down massively. People, and that's where I feel like a lot of people pay on Instagram and Facebook now. Like I work with artists, and they put money on like it's just one of them things that they just do now. In terms of that's why TikTok has just came out of nowhere. Like it's TikTok's only been around really for 2 years. People have only been using it really, taking it seriously now for a year. But you can be 10 times bigger than you are on TikTok. Well, 10 times bigger than you are on Instagram than you will be on TikTok. You'll get such a good organic following from TikTok, and that's why Facebook sort of declined. People were just like, I've had enough of it. Like you see so many artists. Like I seen you post like Salado, and they said they only got 1,800 views on a post. Like that's what Facebook and Instagram is now. It's so downhill, but it's just one of them things that you can't ignore because it's still a different audience,
CBR Milton Keynes says you've got a wise head on such young shoulders. That's for you, not me. I'm an old head on an old shoulders.
Wise head? No, to be honest, for me, when it's, I find it so fascinating. Like in terms of, I'm such a data-driven person. So I work in social media now for well, it's one of my first ever jobs. So like 5, 6 years now, I've been doing social media from literally, window cleaners to flipping some of the biggest talents in the world. Like now, I work with, massive artists and massive YouTubers, footballers, etc. Just gauging how stuff works from a lower level to a higher level, being involved in like some massive things, companies. It mainly just you sort of see how stuff works. So a window cleaner could be doing something better than like UEFA. It's like, because they're like such a small brand. So they've got to come up more than a massive brand. Champions League posts something, it's going to get millions of views because it's the Champions League. Whereas, John's window cleaners from around the corner and wherever your local is, they've got to do so much more because they've got to think of an actual better strategy because they've, it's their livelihood. It's them. It's not just a massive corporation just viewing it. So these people from the bottom have really helped me get to the top. It's to be honest.
That's mental, and that's really I guess that must be quite a challenge to work out a strategy that's for each different type and understand because I know that obviously with social, it's about working out the platforms and working out the content that works for that platform, and to then work out strategies for the difference between window cleaners and footballers and techno pages. Where does that start? Like, how do you even?
Yes. So I used to work for a marketing agency, and we used to look after like carpet cleaners, like gravel, like people do like gravel and like ground, but then we had like UB40 and Frank Bruno. So like it was like so like 1 minute I'll be doing groundsman in flipping Shrewsbury or something like somewhere in the Shropshire, and then like next minute UB40 have sold 100 million records and so the strategies are obviously a lot different. So like in terms of like building it, it's mainly one for keeping the fan base, and then the other ones to building the fan base and building the sales, e-commerce sort of thing. Obviously to get leads. So it's like sales and marketing coming together. But when you're an artist as well, it's exactly the same thing. It's you've got to sell yourself because you've got to sell yourself to get gigs. You've got to sell yourself to get sell your merch. Like like you got to sell yourself to get like tracks sold. Everything involves sales, and once you realise that, your then social game will become so much better because you've got to, build yourself up no matter what it is. So like, let's say, you're a clothing company, you've always got to build yourself up because, people aren't going to invest in your product, if you're not investing in it and building up a strategy. And it's the same with, musicians as well. Like coming back to this, it's, if they neglect even one social page, that's potentially, let's say if that could potentially be, well, your followers are limitless, there's 1.6 billion people on TikTok, you're obviously not going to get 1.6 billion, but you could get like 100,000, 200,000. If you're not getting on TikTok, then you've just completely missed that at all. So like, that's why I feel like getting involved on these social media platforms, there's so many YouTube videos out there to know what stuff is. The platforms actually help you. They want to see you do well because they get money for advertising. So if you're doing well, they're doing well. So they help you in like creator portals, YouTube videos, anything you can literally to just build up knowledge on these platforms. And I never went to university to do social media. Like I've just literally done courses. I've took myself in the deep end and just like worked on it. It's like, I haven't had to pay like £30,000 for a degree or anything. I've done like courses and, YouTube videos, working alongside people and, when you actually work and implement it, that's, that's when you become better. It's all about trial and error as well. Like, if you, let's say you've got 6 different strategies, 2 don't work, never to do them again, but 4 work, to do them like continuously, you know what works. And it's the same like throughout, no matter what industry you're in, it's all about trial and error, like, to be honest with you.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I often say the same. I think I say the same a lot on this channel. I say keep just test and mine's trial and error, or test and learn is my other one. Right. So we've chatted Twitter. We've briefly touched Facebook. Let's talk about TikTok. You mentioned TikTok. Skeleton Key says problem with most artists is you find that it's just if you sell too hard, it turns people off. Also, new artists have very limited amount of content before views spam. How would you overcome this?
Well, like literally, it's like the one thing that every social media platform loves is you being active. So the more active you are, the more they'll push you to your relevant audience. So let's say, you're a techno artist. If you're pushing, let's say with hashtags, hashtag techno, the biggest, like, let's say the biggest followed hashtags, well, I know them all off by heart now, the techno ones, let's say, you've got 10 hashtags there. You're posting that every day. You're then hitting this audience every single day to then push up your brand. And Instagram, let's say, etc., will see this and push you more towards these people. So you're putting yourself more in the limelight by being more active. And if you can see, so let's say if I post today, I don't post for 30 days, people are not going to be like, where's Rhys gone? Unless I've got like millions of followers. If I'm just an average person, they'll just be like, oh, right, cool, he's not using Instagram anymore, unfollow. So many people have an ego where they want more followers to follow him. Like, so they just like delete you. Like, it's just, it is what it is. You've got to keep active, keep people coming back, And that's why creators, like, I always look up to like creators like YouTubers, etc., because they're always active, they're always promoting themselves, they're always promoting. They're like, I'll go back to LinkedIn. Like, it's all about people have been pushing a personal brand, and that's what an artist DJ is, a personal brand.
Yeah.
It's all you. It's not, you haven't got. It's like being a boxer. You've got like trainers, you've got managers, but when it comes down to the thick of it, it's all you. It's your brand. You created it. You're the one doing the gigs. So the content has got to come. Not every day. I'm not saying don't go out and bust your balls every day, like, and flipping, get flipping content out every day, but at least a couple of times a week, keep yourself up to date in stories, where you're playing, what you're doing, new tracks, samples, there's so many different ways of content that people, do competitive research. Like, these people haven't got to the top for a look, they've got there for a reason. So look at what these people have done and don't copy, don't carbon copy, because everyone's got to be different, but just put it in a way where your audience take to that as well. If your audience likes photos, post photos. If your audience likes videos of you doing tracks, you posting backstage clips or gig clips, etc., then go with your audiences. The data doesn't lie. That's what I was. People think social media is just posting and just that's it. But like, in terms of you've got to track data in, to be honest.
I agree. Surround said it also, if it'll turn off the people you don't really want. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess if people see it as spam and are not into it, then they're not really the potential fan you would have thought they would be.
It's 100%. Like, I'd rather have, like, I've literally been involved with influencers that have got millions of followers. Not going to name names, but they couldn't sell out a 50 meet and greet. It's followers mean. Followers mean absolutely nothing. It's all about a community. If you can build a community of, I'd rather have 10,000 strong people that come to my gigs, let's say, and then a million followers, because a million followers is just a number. Brands look at it, but realistically, if you were to do a campaign and 2 people bought it, they'd be like, well, you've got a million followers. Like, what's going on? But if you've got 10,000 and 2,000 people buy the product, then no matter who you are, that's impressive. So if I can get rid of, like, if I'm a DJ and I can get rid of these people, not get rid of them, but not really disinterest myself with them, then it's almost a win, really, to be honest with you. It's like, you get down to the hardcore, that's why, like, with this, like with the Twitch, like with the Twitch, there's things like Discord, that's really coming up, build Discord chats with no algorithms, it's like Rebuke, who I do stuff for as well. He has a thing on Facebook called the Rebuke Ravers Club. So it's like 2,000 people in there that are just like solid fans, they'll talk every day, Rebuke this, Rebuke track coming up this week, Rebuke's playing here, all places throughout all over the world, sorry, that are just interested in him. And that's 2,000 strong, it'll be 2,000 people that, like, he's just had a new track come out today that I've been posting about it all week, all month, ever since the track, like, first got broadcasted on social media. And that's where DJs sometimes lack, building a community. You got to get into your audience, like build, like, a Trick label, Patrick Topping built a Discord chat.
Yeah,
getting getting people into these Discord chats, to chat, build relationships with each other. Oh mate, yeah, I'm a fan of Trick, too. It builds up your band so much quicker than just like having an Instagram page. So if I could, one tip of building a community is 100% Discord. Like, it's so good, and Twitch as well, really.
I agree. And if you're not part of our Discord, use the command Discord, and we can come and join us in Discord. We've got fun in our Discord. We have a little load of producers and DJs. And on Wednesdays, we listen to demos directly from the Discord. And it's a really good fun place, our Discord. Our shed head's in the Discord. Wave and say hi. But yeah, we love Discord. It's great fun.
Yeah, so like going back to that question, if you can build a community, community over followers 100%, like, no matter what platform you're on, if you can like, create little Facebook pages, for people to go in there, let's say you've got 50 people in there, but that's 50 people that are 100% into you, that's 50 more people than some million followers have, it's honestly crazy.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, if you took those 50 people, if we took those 50 people and put them in the garden outside the shed here, like that would fill the garden, and that's quite a lot. Like you would, like that's a decent party.
No, 100%. Like, and the more you build on that, and the more people see it's worthwhile, it's like you say, like Discord chats. Oh mate, Patrick Toppings puts. You give people incentives. Like, let's say, like Patrick Topping gave me 2 guest list tickets because I'm in his Discord. And the more you post about it, it's like you give incentives to people like to be in there, and the more you can build upon that community, the bigger it gets. Like, like let's say if he's playing in the UK and he's got 1,000 people in this Discord from the UK, that's potentially an extra 200 people that would just buy tickets like that just because they love him, in this community. And that's what a lot of people really, they go for followers, but to me, it's nothing really if they're not going to do anything, especially as a one-man artist.
Exactly. Surround Sound says the Discord has been amazing. It is fun in our Discord. I love our Discord. I'm glad we built ours. Comsound says, what about the 10% rule? Say you've got 100,000 followers, which gives you 10,000 might check it out, and then 1,000 might buy the product. Yeah, I guess. And also, Harvest, by the way, Harvest and Surround Sound, I know you were chatting about his Rebuke hoodie earlier. I spied that in the chat. I was waiting for him to chat about Rebuke and why he had that hoodie on.
Like, these are just the ones that, like, I don't think they're going to be used ever, but like, they've got like this on the back. They're cool hoodies, but I don't think there's stuff coming up. I'll let you know. But yeah, like I've been with him for a year now, like in terms of like doing like social PR stuff. Yeah, it's been pretty good, to be honest with you. He's absolutely wicked in terms of like building a community. Like he's so hands-on, like in terms of what he wants, and sometimes you get a bit of like resistance, but it's good because it's his brand. He knows what he wants, and ultimately it's his. It's him. You can always push people, but you can't like push them over the edge. But with that,
I remember having messages with him on Facebook, and he was like, "Can I do some live streams on data transmission?" And I think it was even before he was Rebuke. It was like he was just as Ruben, and I was like, "Yeah, cool, okay," because it was from a club in Ireland, Northern Ireland.
Output,
and I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool. I'll get a live stream and I don't have to do anything, and you do it all, like get some content. Wicked, go for it. And then I didn't hear anything for a bit, and then all of a sudden Rebuke started, one of the tracks dropped, and everyone was like, oh, that's so and so. And I was like, that's that dude that used to do live streams for us on Facebook. No way.
Yeah, I've been in contact with him for around like 4 or 5 years now, and like like ever since like Along Came Polly, I knew him like a couple of years before that. Like I was. Like Birdman's Apache was his first track as Rebuke. That was on, I can't remember what label that was on now. Not sure, that wasn't Tool Room, something like that. That was his first track as Rebuke. I'd heard him from there, and we just started chatting. And then Along Came Polly came out and absolutely blew up massively. It was absolutely crazy.
Cool. If you're just joining us late, I'm chatting from Rhys Jackson, who's the founder of T In Techno. You've got massive pages, dude. Firstly, congratulations. Like, obviously, it's inspiring. Like, I have similar pages with DT and similar content from a DT point of view. So, see yours at those massive numbers. Congratulations, firstly and foremost. It is an achievement, and yeah, well done, dude.
No, cheers, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere without the three of us, really. Like, it's been a big team effort from all of us, and what we do is we all have, like, it's good doing it as a team because we all have like different mindsets. So like, and it sometimes it stops you from doing stuff where you might think it's a good idea. So you got two voices of reason as well. Like, I'm quite an impulsive person, so it's like, yeah, this is a good idea, but then someone will say, yeah, maybe not, like, but then like, sometimes it works out to be a good idea, but you just never know. But yeah, but, but like, it's really with these pages as well. It comes back to the community as well. If you can get involved in these pages, they'll always let you like get involved. So if you like, that's a way of building yourself up massively as well. Like, honestly, like every artist I'm involved with, I'll always say, I've got links to these pages. I'll try to get you on these pages, etc. I'll get you a takeover post on there. If you can get involved with these pages, or even build one yourself. There's so many out there, and there's so much content out there to use. Like, it's just not saying everyone's going to, keep up with it, but like, if you can keep up with it, the numbers speak for themselves, really.
Has all your content come original content, or do you kind of find it, or do you kind of get sent it? Like, how does that work?
Like, massive split, honestly. Like, sometimes, like, if we can go out, we can go out and get it. Like get like invited to stuff, etc. Like, like, I work with a lot of artists as well. Like, so like, if I can go to gigs as well, get content for us. Same with like all the other lads. They go to stuff that I don't go to, and then a lot of artists, we have great relationships with. They just send us the stuff, and and then we just find other stuff. Really, to be honest with you. We know what does well as well. Like, we know what artists do well. We know who do not great numbers, but like, we're true to ourselves. Like, we won't post something because someone's big and told us to post it. Like, we won't be like that. We know what does well, and we know our brand as well. Like, so we're not like, we won't post Patrick Toppin anymore, let's say, because we're not involved in that market anymore, even though he's massive. Like, we just don't do that. Our fans and followers expect something of us now, like, and that's hardcore, hard tech. Like, love it or hate it. Like, like, we're all such massive fans of it, and so are our followers. So if we were to post something from like Defected, like house music, they'd be like, what's going on here? You've been bought off, ain't you? It's like so, like, it's one of them things. It's the same with content. You've just got to know what does well, and how you can just build upon that, really, to be honest with you. And that's one of the main things that I'd say to people is track your content. Social media is not just like, thinking of a little caption and posting it, because that's how you fail. Like, there's literally people like myself in full-time roles for a reason. If social media was just, little bit of writing, posting, there'd be no full-time roles, because every Tom, Dick and Harry would be able to do it. It's not like that at all, believe me. If it was, trust me, my life would be a hell of a lot easier.
Are you tracking all metrics? What metrics are you tracking then from a data point of view?
Yeah, so the main ones for me are video views, engagement, like likes and comments, and just like, like profile views as well, and mainly like minute views as well, if it's like Facebook as well, and like retention. So like, if it's a minute video, where are people dropping off? So let's say with TikTok, if we're getting good views, but everyone's going off at the 15-second mark, then the next video I'll do is 15 seconds only. So people, I know that a lot of people, let's say I've got 60% of people dropping off at 15 seconds. I know then that, and there's a concurrent feed, it's happening a lot. Then the next video will only be 15 seconds, or I'll drop it down for 30 seconds, so I can get into like a average point then. But mainly like likes, engagements, shares, video views, like following, like how much has increased, really, to be honest with you. Like, for a lot of people we do at work, we do this on a weekly basis. So, it's so we know what's worked well. So if we've got 3 posts from the week, we know that them 3 posts have worked very well. And this is, the advantage of that, on each platform. And always, if you can, do different content on other, so I'll try not to post, content that's on Twitter to Facebook, because if I follow you on Twitter and you're posting the same thing on Instagram and Facebook, what's the point of me following you on Facebook and Instagram when it's exactly the same thing? If you can, try and diversify it as much as possible, even if it's like the 6-minute version on Facebook to the 30-second version on TikTok, just try to diversify it as much as possible, or create like little snippets and always cross promote. So saying, if you've got like a 30-second snippet of like a 6-minute video, which is totally different to the Facebook and like Twitter, and always reference it back to the main one. So you're always cross promoting it across other platforms. Like that's what people don't do. And that's why, sometimes your followers like slump a bit, or just like people just like get disinterested in your videos because they won't view it again. Because what's the point?
Yeah, gotcha. So how's that? If you just anyone that's just joined us recently, I'm speaking to Rhys Jackson. He started the pages T In Techno, and have you got nearly? Did I read you've got 1 million followers now across all platforms?
Yeah, it's like just under like it will be this year. It's like 900 something thousand now.
Amazing. So he created those pages across those platforms, and he's got there's a team of the guys at T In Techno now. So shout out the team. Thank you for their watching. Hey team. And so we're going deep on social, which you know, all those that are regular to me, I'm loving this. This is literally my favorite things to talk about. So we're going to move on to TikTok, but let's say TikTok. When did you start on there? How is it growing? Should be people on there now, and what's working for you on that platform?
Yeah, so like I work with a lot of creators like in my full-time job, so they're probably the best examples to speak about. And these are massive creators. Like 100% you've got to be on TikTok. There's 1.6 billion users on TikTok in 2 years. That's all. That's more than Instagram now. That's more active people with like that will get seen to your following, and it's such a big reach for organic as well. You don't have to put money onto it. Obviously you can if you want to, but like, you'll see everyday people like me, myself, etc. Like, one video can change your life on these like profiles. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, like one of my mates' LinkedIn bio is one video away from quitting my job. Like, it's like it's literally that crazy. Like it's massive. Like people, if you can find what works well on TikTok, you're literally golden. Obviously, like the levels you can reach is just absolutely incredible. 100% get yourself on TikTok. It's going to be now or never, really, to be honest with you. It's like it's been in its infancy period for the first year, and now as its height, I feel like this is the peak of TikTok this year, and I think the third year it'll come down. So if you can build yourself a following now, get yourself up there, in there, like in with the views, then you'll just ride it. And then it will obviously have its spikes, etc., back again. But now is the peak year for TikTok, especially with like other platforms trying to like rival it, like YouTube Shorts, etc., which is another thing to be on as well. But yeah, get yourself on TikTok and just learn it. Honestly,
how often have you got posts on there to kind of build a channel?
I'd suggest once a day or a couple of times a week. So a lot of my creators, we post like 3-4 times a week. We always like keep ourselves active on there, whether that just being old content or just as I said, like let's say there's a 10-minute video, we'll use like 15-second, 30-second snippets from like an actual video that's to go up on YouTube, etc., just to promote the YouTube. And then just mainly just like it's showing off your personality as well. So if let's say you're a DJ, you're in the studio, show off yourself in the studio, show off your tracks, what you're working on. And the bolder the better, the more creative the better. If you can find a flow of being creative and incorporating your music and your brand, then honestly it'd be absolutely crazy the numbers you can do on there. I work with Eliza Rose, who's gone number 1 in the UK charts, like with the Baddest of Them All track, and that's like 2 tunes, like that LF System, Afraid to Feel. There's another one that's come from TikTok in the new, number 1 UK charts. Eliza Rose, Baddest of Them All. It's been trending now for like 6 weeks on TikTok. Like, so being involved in her team, like I wasn't involved in setting up that, like shout out to the team for that, but like I've just started with her like on a full-time basis in her group now. But like in terms of how they did it was absolutely phenomenal. It was constantly hitting videos, hitting the right target markets, hitting markets that they wouldn't really see musicians. So they were like going for like people in fashion, people in like, people that don't really are associated with music, but also could be using music as well. So that's where you see like fashion influencers using the baddest of them all track. You see like travel agencies using the baddest of them all because it's hype. It's not just DJs like using it on the TikTok sound. It's literally everyone. Like we had like one of the biggest creators in the world on TikTok. I think Addison Rae, she's got around like 100 million followers on TikTok, and she used it the other day. And yeah, it's like, just people who aren't DJs just using the track, and it's you've got to find what's trending. So like literally, if you use her sound, you'll get them put onto a homepage of people that have used that track, with the right hashtags. You can then be in an audience of, I think like 59 million, like probably even more than that now, people have viewed this track like just on TikTok alone. So you'll get them put into a homepage of like 59 million, let's say.
That's crazy. I guess you've got to have played that track, because otherwise, if you're a DJ that's like a drum and bass DJ that doesn't play that music, then that doesn't really work for you. You just have to find the next trend. But I guess, but you suggested making a TikTok video being behind my desk, mixing two songs that are 30 seconds, and that is it. So, House Addict. Let me just go back. Let me just go back for yours. So, House Addict said, "I'm an old musician. Started with vinyl. Love music, but now I feel it's a bit all about socials. Not much the music or the art or performing, which is a shame." What do you think?
To be honest, like I'm going to probably do myself here, but I agree. Like but in terms of, I feel like it's just one of them things where like it is essential, but you'll see, so like a lot of these people now, like it's how you capitalize on these social media success. It's like with Elijah now, it's how do we capitalize on this? It's like a video going viral. It's like, if you do nothing after it's gone viral, then you're going to stay at nothing. But if you capitalize on it, the heights you can go is massive. But with the people with the true talent, all these people have talent. But if you can hit home on that and get your socials right, then oh my God, it's incredible. Like with Rebuke, he's got like 60,000 followers, but he'll sell out every week. Let's say, like build like great tracks, etc. But in terms of like, he's quite defensive on social media as well. Like he doesn't really like it, but he knows it's essential. So like it's one of them things that's like I call it a necessary evil. Like it's one of them things that it's like a job CV, like musicians and people involved in that. If you can't get what's on there on paper, with the paper being a social media feed, then it's almost like it's not really the people's fault. It's more like club promoters, because club promoters see the biggest thing, and the biggest thing to them, they can get someone with hype there and then, and it's cha-ching, in it, like sort of thing for them. Like it's mainly come down from like club promoters, venues wanting the
and booking agents.
Booking agents, wanting the biggest people at the time, which is it's a money game, isn't it? If you can get people that can the biggest hype on social media right now, can get 10,000 people for your door, or a couple of thousand people for your door, then why not? Like
at the end of the day, it's bums on seats, and it's like, you're right. They want to book the biggest acts, and if they can book the biggest acts or get them before they're the biggest acts, and then they're rising because they have got a following on TikTok, and they catch them early, and they get them at a really low price, and then they push. Then it's a full club on a low fee just because you caught them early on TikTok. Then that's from a promoter point of view, that's the gold dust, man. It's like
I'll go back to like that. It's like my friend in Liverpool, he booked Fisher like for literally so cheap. This was a week before Losing It came out, so like he wasn't like, he was still Fisher, but he wasn't Losing It Fisher, which took him to the Grammys, etc., and just like boosted him massively. This was like, so he literally sold out Invisible Wind Factory in Liverpool. And the week later, Losing It came out, and everyone was like, "Lad, you've just got Fisher for this price." It's so cheap. And it's like, like, well, not cheap, but like obviously what he is compared to today. And it's you've got to find these people. And ultimately, if you can get a team around you that's involved in this, not many people, like the biggest acts in the world won't be doing their own social media. The biggest talent in the world don't do their own social media. They'll pay someone to do it. They'll, seek advice. They may do one post, but 9 times out of 10, it's, someone doing it. Like, they may advise them, but like, well, may have a say on it. Ultimately, it's their brand, but they won't be distributing it. Let's say Camel Fat will have someone doing their social media. Fisher will, etc.
Dave does their Twitter. I know that for a fact.
I did it. Yeah, that's like in terms of like marketing, like all round marketing. Like they may so like Scream's definitely doing his Twitter himself. 100%.
And Mark definitely does Solardo's Instagram, because that's where that tweet came from that created that video that I made put out yesterday.
Yeah.
So basically, he tweeted that he had only 1,800 reach on a post, and then we did a live stream here on Twitch about it, and then that basically came down to 11 things that they could improve. And that's where the video came from that I put out yesterday. But yeah, to the point, Skeleton Key says, yeah, if you post something you can fill an event, no one wants to play to half-inch place. Right, yeah, but you've got to admit I've seen only someone moving his belly up and down on music that gets 1,000 likes. I mean, okay, I'm reading the same things. I'm trying to read through all the things, essentially.
It's not down to the artist themselves. If an artist knows how to work social media, or their team does, then it's it's obviously a good track. So it's not like they've got no talent, because obviously they've got talent because, it's done absolutely numbers. But in terms of, it's mainly down towards the, I said the booking agents, the promoters, people who are involved in that are the main driver of that sort of, that sort of wave, I think.
Yeah, and as for starting point for smaller artists, it is frustrating. I get it. Obviously, we're working with smaller artists all the time, and that's why we're here that's why I'm here to help, dude. I'm a artist to give you the tools to help you with these things. It must be tough as a small artist, and I do get it, and that's why I've putting in place these things to help you all. Because it must be that's why the video I did about Solardo, they should be doing these things, or they could be doing these things. They have got the team, they have got the people, they have got the content, whereas you guys don't. That's kind of those ideas. Okay, cool. So that's TikTok. So you're saying TikTok, it's not too late for TikTok. Wicked. I started TikTok, my own personal TikTok, in June, and I had 100 followers in June, and I'm up to 800 already, and I've just been posting every couple of days, every day or every couple of days. DT's one I was on it about 3 years ago, and then I stopped, and I shouldn't. It's one of these things, when you start it and you think, oh, it's not getting traction, it's not getting traction. Then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, I've missed the boat.
Yeah. Well, it's the same. I think, consistency is the number one driver for success. If I don't care who you are, you've got to be consistent. Even if you've got one of the world's best tracks and you've got no track record, then record label owners will be like, well, he's never proved himself, so I'm not sure of this track. But if you've been consistent in your music and you've got labels behind you and you've got a decent following, then it's, it's ultimately, pushing. The same with labels as well. A lot of these labels will look at your social media profiles. I know that for a fact. And see
100%.
Seeing how you look. Ultimately, you're coming onto their brand. They don't want someone who's, I see one example of a guy all these of us post up fishing stuff. It's mate, it's a music account. If Drum Code, Solardo, etc. are going to look at you, all you're doing is posting carp. It's not a music account at all. That's your personal profile. Keep your personal stuff in your music stuff, but you've got to be so consistent with it. Honestly, because if you can build up a following. We took 5 years to get to 100,000 people on Instagram. That was the organic way. You can pay for ads, etc. But that's totally bewilders the fact of building a community. But it took us 5 years to get to 100,000 people. It took us 5 years to get to 100,000 people on every platform bar Facebook. It's that's 5 years of literally posting every single day, including Christmas Day. We had no days.
To be fair, I post on Christmas Day. Do you know what? I find Christmas Day a great day for content. We literally have a podcast that literally goes out Christmas Day, and I put it out at 3:10 every Christmas Day. I go into this mindset that you wake up Christmas morning, you get you open your presents, you spend time with your family, then you eat, then you watch the Queen. And then it's what do? You get drunk, and then we're like, well, here's the soundtrack. Here's a new mix to listen to on that new iPod, that new cassette player that you just got for Christmas. That new Walkman you got for Christmas, for fuck's sake. Or something to do. We literally put it out, at that time. And it works so well. We've literally told people, you've got the Christmas Day mix, and they're like, right, I'm going to make it effort. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it longer. I'm going to put more effort in it, make it more Christmassy or something. We've had some great mixes for Christmas Day mixes.
That's what I mean. Like exactly like that. You just got to be consistent with your stuff. Like coming back to it. If you post once and then 30 days later, people are just like so disinterested. Like, if I see someone every day on my feed and it's relevant to me, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to look at their feed, and I think if I want to follow them, I want to follow them, like see what they're doing all the time, may as well. Just keeping in check with them. It's the same with smaller artists, Everyone started from somewhere, Fisher started at 0, he's got however many million now. Charlotte DeWitt started at 0. She's got how many million? Everyone starts from somewhere. Everyone was small at one point. So who's to say you can't be the next, Amelia Lenz or the next, Salado, Patrick Topping, they all started from where everyone did. Patrick Topping used to be, selling tickets. Look at him now. He's the one getting tickets sold for him. It's exactly that. It's, everyone started off from somewhere,
I saw a tweet from Michael Bibby yesterday saying that something like 6 years ago, he was selling tickets and now he's getting a private jet to go and play back-to-back with Corolla.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, unless you're born into it, which that's only like 0.01% of people, everyone's got to work for what they've got. And it's exactly the same with smaller artists, you've got to put time and effort into yourself. You're not a team, you're a one-man artist. Until you've got a manager around you, until you've got a marketing team around you, which these big guys have, you're literally on your own. So it's like being a self-made, well, you are a self-made business, you've got to put the time and effort into how things work. And fortunately, depends how you look at it, social media is one of these things.
Skeleton Keys, we should do that as a stream. Look through the older posts of artists. We should literally sit in and go and scroll right back, and we'll look at the oldest posts we can find or the oldest videos, and we'll put everything up on the oldest and see where they started on social media. So I'm doing this as a stream. It'll be hilarious. And we'll do like 5 artists. That'd be funny as.
That's what I mean. It's just like everyone started from somewhere, and they're just, they had the talent and knowledge go hand in hand. If you've got talent and the knowledge of how to work it, then yeah, you're laughing.
Let's ask some questions. CB Red Radio, what is the next big social platform, or do the current ones still have a shelf life?
The next big social platform will be YouTube Shorts, 100%. YouTube Shorts have just announced. So to anyone who doesn't know what a monetization program is, a monetization program is so ads will basically come onto your videos, how you make money through the platforms. So typically they didn't have it for shorts. YouTube, it was just mainly for the longer form, but now they've put a monetization program in for ads, which is a lot better than TikTok's. So a lot of these TikTok creators now, all want to see the money or want to leave their jobs, etc. They'll be coming over to YouTube where they're getting paid more money. So if you can get onto YouTube Shorts now before the trends, that is a market. That's a market tip right there. Get on YouTube Shorts right now.
And I guess from a music point of view, like what are you going to put on your your platform? Your shorts obviously 30 seconds, 60 seconds long. I guess that's those kind of artworky bits that people are already making. From a label point of view,
like you can put if you can if you're going to put something up on TikTok, just re-edit it and put it up on YouTube, etc. Make it fit for YouTube's format. Even just like as I said, if you're doing a gig video, post one video up on TikTok and then another video of another track on YouTube, so there's dissimilar, or just like something involved around that. But 100% YouTube Shorts is going to be the next big thing to blow. I can guarantee that.
That's cool. My job for after this stream is to record 7 shorts for the next 7 days.
No, 100%. They literally announced it 2 days ago, and you're already going to see people just that you'll never see on there. It's everything's like a massive competitor thing for TikTok, and that's what I think they're going to be. They're going to be a massive competitor for TikTok. Well, they always have been, really, but in terms of now, it's going to be. I think TikTok will start to slow down and YouTube will come up.
How's that? He's curious. What would you recommend to do as for a DJ producer to advise on social kind of footage. So what footage? What would work for DJ? What do you think works for DJs and producers from kind of social footage or social assets?
Yeah, so for me, gig videos, inevitable. You got to show yourself out there if you're playing. If you're playing, whether that's in a bar, in a club, in a festival, you just got to make yourself look active. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you just got to make yourself look active. Like that you can show off your talent as well. That you're actually doing it. Two, people love like tracks. Like getting into how you made the tracks, because they want to see your production talent as well. And mainly, like I think there was like a big trend ages ago where like people were like cutting down how they made the track. So like literally from start to finish, they'll put like they'll edit like a minute video of like, this is how I made this track and whatever, and like showing how they made it in FL, etc. I was about to say FL there, FL Studio, like FL Studio Logic, and they'll just like show you how they made it, make like a little funny video on that, and yeah, like stuff like that. And if you're a small artist as well, even like behind the scenes, like of some stuff, let's say you're supporting a big act, people love seeing behind the scenes of like clubs, festivals, because ultimately you're still something that they want to be, whether how big or small you are, you're still technically a DJ, which a lot of people do want to be. And there's a lot of people out there that can't even get on an event. So if you're on an event and you're automatically, living someone's dream, if you can show that off online, it's a win-win for them, really. And a lot of people done it from the start. You'll see, like, if you go back like 5 years to some of these artists, like on the next stream, etc., you'll see that they'll be posting in little clubs in their own town, 100%. And it's what Rebuke used to do with his live streams as well. Outhouse is his club that he used to play at in Letterkenny. He still has posts up from there. No one started at Creamfields.
Yeah, exactly. No one started at Creamfields. That's going on a t-shirt. What? And you said Rafa FL, which is absolutely hilarious because Skeleton Keys in our chat has just won the Rafa FL remix competition with Another Rhythm did.
On Beatport, is that?
Yeah, they basically the label Another Rhythm, which is they just did a remix competition, and Skeleton Keys was the winner of the Rafa FL remix competition, which is hilarious. Yeah. Let's talk about Instagram. I love Instagram.
So, like, Instagram, people think is dying at the moment, which I guess in terms of if you look at how it used to perform, it technically is because it's trying to be a competitor to TikTok with the Reels, etc. But it's still there, you still get good views. You've just got to, diversify everything into video now. The more video content you can get out there, the more, creative, the better. It's like they're basically all like TikTok. Like, it's not the same strategy because they're different platforms, but like, the more videos you can get out there and like forward facing, showing off your personality, showing who you are, and like all these like, you don't have to be massively edited, but like, raw footage, etc. Like, people love that stuff, no matter how big or small you are. Like, people love it.
Well, I thought about that loads, and I'd be like, doesn't that actually make it easier because you are now only creating one format that can go on essentially 4 different platforms, and if you just make a whole ton of them and split them up so they're all different, like you're saying, different content for different platforms, then it's much easier to create that than it is to take a picture of one, take a video in one size for one shape and another shape for another size, and have to edit another piece into another thing. It's literally 15-30 seconds in portrait film.
No, 100%. Like, I agree. It's like, it's just like with the creators that I work for, like, they love it. Like, they did it. We just like, it's like different. It's the same video, but like edited differently, or be like, another 30 seconds or 15 seconds from the 10-minute video, like going back to that. It's like they absolutely love it. It's so much easier, and it works so well as well. It's not to say you can't get millions of views on an Instagram reel, because I look at dog videos all day. It's just like random, well, not all day, like in my spare time, like, and there'll be like people that are just like everyday people with like 200 followers getting like 1 million views on the video. Who's to say that can't be you? It's how you work it as well. Getting out to just being consistent with it is the main thing. And, as I said, going back to tracking your data, if one video doesn't work, try it again. Free strike rule. If it doesn't work in the first 3 times, don't do it ever again, to be honest with you.
That's cool. That's a good tip.
You're just wasting your time. If it takes you an hour to edit one of these videos that doesn't work, then you've wasted an hour of your life, an hour of your time. And if you've done it 3 times, that's 3 hours of your life and 3 hours worth of ideas. Like, you could be going on to something else. So always have a backup plan as well, always look at different forms of content out there. As I said, competitor analysis, look at what these big people are doing, but swing it in your own way. Don't be a carbon copy of anything, because when you're back in school and you try and copy something, you get put in trouble, don't you? So it's the same with content as well. If you're copying someone's ideas, then people just think, oh yeah, he's the next Michael Bibby. He's trying to copy Michael Bibby. You don't have your own personality then. If you can sort of recreate these videos, but in your own personality, then, you're not the next Michael Bibby. You're your own person then. No people can't say you're this and that because, you've came across as in your own way, but it's the same video format, if that makes any sense. It's like YouTubers, you'll see the same video 100,000 times. Like, I watch a lot of football YouTubers and they do like football challenges, same football challenges. It's just different creators, differently edited, all different personalities, and, you watch it for them. It's, if Michael Bibby does a backstage video of, We Are Festival or, Tomorrowland, etc., and you're doing it in, your local club, yeah, it's the same thing, but it's, it's your personality coming across, and that's what people don't do. They don't look at what does well. Ultimately everything's a trend on social media. Like 9 times out of 10, the stuff that does well is on trend. So if you're not following these people, I literally have a fake, like not a fake account, but like a dud account. I follow like 500, 600 people in the industries that I'm in, and all day, every day, I'll just look at these like accounts and just think, yeah, that's good. I reckon we can do this. We'll do it our way. Yeah, all right. Yeah, this doesn't work for them, so I won't be trying that for myself. Just have a look. Like, literally, have a look online.
I do that a lot. I'll go through. I'll swipe through, and I'll go. I like that idea of content, but I need it to say this, and this because it works better for me, and I'll do it this way, wearing a stupid hat because that's me, and so it's me plus my content plus the kind of idea of that I know is working because I've seen it got the views. And then see what happens, basically.
No, 100%. Like, it's, like they're not the first people to start it. They've always found it. Like, unless it's like an original idea, which everyone's loving. I feel like you're actually laughing if it's you who's the original idea thinker. But 9 times out of 10, basically 10 times out of 10 that you see of people that you follow, they're not the original creator of that video. They've always took it from somewhere. They've always built it in on the hype. So build on the hype yourself, get involved in that, get involved with the trends, and just look at what's doing well online, and don't be a carbon copy because no one loves that. You'll fall down so quickly. Then just be yourself online, and your personality shine, and you'll come through.
I always think there's only so many ways you can make content. There's only so many ways you can do it, and there's only so many ideas. And like you're saying, everyone's kind of evolving an idea that's been evolved, but it's like that added addition of you and what you're about. That's the goal bit.
Yeah, 100%. Like, if you can think of forward ideas, then 100%, like, they work too. Like, it's a lot easier to copy a trend than it is to think of a forward idea. 100%. Like, it's like, and it's a lot easier to get the views on a trend than it is for a forward idea, because it's almost like selling a new platform to someone. It's like, so how do we sell this without it being tried and tested before? But then if you got something that's worked well before and has all these reviews, it's like going on Amazon and seeing something with no reviews, but it could be the best product in the world, but no one's done it before. No one's seen it before. So it's not, tried and tested. But then you've got one with, 4.5 stars and it's got 2,000 comments, and it's like, all right, just go for that one, won't you?
One of the questions is, does Rhys think that that having a vocal in your post that's relevant to the visual helps?
Yeah, so like if you can get across the best bit. So if the best bit is, the vocal coming into like the drop, let's say, like the actual content, then 100%. But show off the best bits. A lot of people now have such low retention spans where you've just got to show them the best bits quickly. Like it's so bad. Like people drop after to like. There's a stat saying 50 plus% of people, if they don't like the video in the first 2 seconds, they'll click off. You've got to catch them in the first 2 seconds. Like it was like a scientific stat. They did like on like 2,000-3,000 people in America, and like people literally dropped off after 2 seconds. It's absolutely crazy. So like trying to figure the first 2 seconds out of a video is absolutely crucial. So if you can hook them in, then they're likely to stay longer. And it's like with the house tracks, with the vocals,
It's quite mental. It's quite mental as well, because I made a video the other day and it was 4 seconds long, and I was like, surely this is too short. Like, surely, like, literally the stuff was flashing on the screen, and I was like, I don't even know if I can read that. Like, it's like, and then I went to bed. I interacted a little bit. I went to bed, and it was on like about 300 or 400 views by the time I went to bed, and I was like. And I woke up in the morning, it had like 12,500, and I was like, fuck about. Right, I need to start making them shorter.
No, for sure. Like, I come back to like TikTok, a lot of people just post like 15-second videos, 20-second videos. And, sometimes even that's too long for people. Like, it's absolutely mental. So, like, if you can literally show off the best 15 seconds, of a track, keep it like the first 2 seconds, interactive and looking, getting people hooked in, then, you're sorted, honestly. Especially with like house tracks, house tracks are like some of the biggest vibe tracks out there, like the old school Blackwater, tracks like Dennis Ferry, all the DJs, etc., producers, all these tracks are all about, the feeling and stuff like that. And, like Defected Records, their shows are just like, people are so into it, and you'll see like the crowds are all just there loving it. It's if you can show across the best bits of anything really, then people will take to that online.
Cool. Do you ever suffer social media burnout?
I did, but like it was like for a week I was like, oh wow, I've literally maxed out everything, so I've got like 15 on TikTok accounts, like for other people, including myself, and then like 12 on Instagram and like 30 on Facebook. So I've got so many. But like in terms of like stuff, in terms of burnout, not really 100% ever, because it's like, to me it's fun because it's like a game. It's like like I like the data aspect of it. It sounds like really cheesy, really nerdy, but like I love the data aspect of like social media. And to me, it's like a game. And plus, if you can help someone out in their career, social media is a marketing platform. To get to a big next step, you've got to be good in social media. So they're relying on me, a lot of these people. So like if I burn out, and then the content's like, oh what? But like ultimately have breaks as well. Like I'm so like I work like 10 till 6, my full-time job. Like I've got the afternoon off today, like, but in terms of like usually it's like 10 till 6. Then like I'll do bits for other artists, like 6 till 8. But like that's not to say in between them times I'm not going to the walk. I'll go for a gym. I'll go to the gym at lunchtime. I'll leave my phone at home. The gym's got no signal anyway, but I'll leave my phone at home, and for that 45 minutes, that's my time. Like I'll go for a walk every night. That's my time. I'll leave my phone at home, and if anything needs done, it's not, unless it's massively urgent, then they can wait.
Has your audience changed across the pages, across the because you said at the start you were posting, more kind of tech housey stuff, and then you've gone tougher into your techno. Have you seen people disappear from your audience and new audience members come because you've changed, or did the audience just grow as you grew?
I had a look the other week. I was really interested in that, but not really, not massively. Like it's not, people would just, because we've always liked techno, so we've always like in like the drum code, etc. But this new form of hard techno really has not really been around for that long, really, has it? Like it's like all these massive labels now that are coming through. They may have like been big in their countries, but they've only just really made it to the UK the past like couple of years. So it's like we sort of fell in love with that and just thought, right, yeah, let's instead of like being like everyone else, and everyone else is mainly like tech house music, why not just be one of the only ones for, this harder style techno, which we all like.
Can I ask you a question? Do behind the decks videos do better or ones from an audience viewpoint? That's a good question.
See, audience viewpoint at this moment of time, like people love like seeing the production. If you got a good production, 100% show it off. If you've literally, if the lights are going mad and you're just in some club that's just got a good graphic graphic screen, LCD screen behind you, then 100% show it off from in the crowd, like no matter what. But if it's like, a packed out club and you can show it off, 100% do that as well. It's mainly like a 50-50 split. If you can get like a video, who's not to say you can't post two?
Yeah.
Ultimately, that you can post two, like to get more content out there. But in terms of the moment, I'm seeing a lot of, people being forward facing, like the production. Like Taylor Buss, they don't really show off the face. They show off what they've done because they've spent £100,000 on production. They're going to show it off as much as possible, aren't they? Same with clubs as well. Clubs will show off their little lasers and like stuff like that. No matter who you are, no matter if you're a club in Telford or you're in Burgoyne, well, they don't show videos, but like a club in like the gas outlet, etc. They're going to show off their production because they've spent money on it, and ultimately it looks good online as well.
If you were playing to 5 people, would you do faced on, or would you do kind of behind, showing the 5 people?
No, I'd go face off.
You'd go face on.
Yeah. But it's one of them. It's
I'm kind of. I tell you, I kind of like. I would probably, like you say, I'd probably get both, just because you can, because it's an hour set and someone can go on face on. But I would. Do you know? I kind of, in the kind of people going on the journey with you. If you posted a video from behind and said, "Shouts to those 5 people that were with me on Saturday. This was my first gig, or my first gig in a while. We had a laugh, didn't we?" You've got that video then. So when you're playing to thousands, you can go. You can do it started here and now it's here kind of thing, and it makes a big difference, I guess.
100%. I agree. That's a good way of looking at it. Actually. Yeah, in terms of for the throwback sort of thing, it would be good to look at. But I don't know. I don't know if that's coming across in I haven't got an ego, but I don't know if it's an ego sort of thing to think I'm not a DJ myself. I help DJs out, but in terms of that, I think they'd want it I'm sort of looking at it from their perspective, and I'd think 9 times out of 10. Well, probably not 9 times out of 10, but the majority would probably say put it full face in.
Yeah, I bet they would. And I bet if someone did it the other way, I'd like to see someone just do it the other way around and go, "Look, I played to no one."
To do well online, it's just it's a funny video, I guess.
If you were just there playing to no one and you just literally were like, "This is the start. I can accept it. I'm cool with it."
A few years later, in Steelyards and Creamfields, 10,000.
Yeah, and then you put the first one, then you go, "There's the second, and now I'm doing here. I'm going to try. Surround Sound's going to try it. Wicked. I'd love to see what it does. I'd like I said earlier, test and learn, man. Fucking do it.
No, for sure.
I saw that you put out. Most of this stuff I've seen on LinkedIn. Like I said this morning when I spoke to you earlier, I literally have been watching your LinkedIn for a while. I want to talk about LinkedIn in a minute, but one of your LinkedIn posts was talking about Facebook and Instagram marketing and how you've grown your Spotify playlist using ads, and that you were paying something ridiculously small to get ridiculous amounts of followers. How's that working for you? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I did an ad. I've been doing Facebook ads for a couple of years. And I did a course with this one guy, Andy, and basically he just showed me how to get followers literally for 30 quid. They're all real followers, they're all interested in your market. You can't force people to follow you. You have to have good content behind it. And it was basically for £30. I got this one guy 11.4k followers. It was absolutely amazing. It was one of the best campaigns I've ever done. For that
on
little
Insta
money,
or on Spotify?
No, on Instagram that was.
Right.
11.4k followers on Instagram. The retention is not always there, but it's how well you keep up with that and how active you are after that. So that, like, coming back to like going viral, if you just stay quiet, then people aren't going to be interested in you. But it's like the same with ads. If you're keeping up the content which they like, with these ads, they're all directly targeted to people that are in your selected industry, selected age ranges, but they're all around the world. So like that's how it works so well, and how like why the money gets spread out like in different countries, because the most expensive places to run ads, unfortunately, is the UK and the US. So like if you're just targeting it for the UK, then you put 30 quid that's getting used in a day or two, like for this like campaign. But it works so well, and it works a lot for a lot of artists. I've done it like 4 times, and like the stuff you get back is incredible, honestly. Like, it was 11.4k for the first one on Instagram. Then we got like 2,000 new Spotify playlists for him as well.
Was that again running an ad, or was that from his new followers?
Yeah, running the ad. Yeah, running an ad. Like, and it's all about like the creatives, what he used.
What was the content?
Yeah, mainly the content and what the content he had as well. Like he's an American-based DJ, so he had like all these major clubs. Like he plays at like EDC, Seismic Dance Event. What's the other ones he plays at, like Space Miami, etc. So he's been on big labels as well. Like, but mainly just wanted to branch out like in a worldwide. And I was like, pitched him this ad, and he was like, "All right, let's go for it." 11.4k followers on Instagram later. He's absolutely buzzing. Like.
That's amazing. So I guess the creative was, in playing somewhere big. I guess his page.
So what it was basically, you've got to be so, with your creatives, like especially for an ad, you've got to be so straight to the point in what it is. Like, as I'll come back to retention time, you've got to hit someone there and then. So if it's like a clothing brand, it's like you see these ads on like TV, but like TV ads you can't skip unless you got whatever, like or like you're on playback, etc. But like 9 times out of 10 you can't skip it. But with YouTube and Instagram you can. So you've got to hit them straight away, go straight to the point. So it was like, follow me on Instagram everywhere, with his username, follow me on Instagram, and it had like a visual in the middle, and it was like, follow him follow him now, here's the swipe up link,
Right.
Directed to the profile, so there was no, it's a 15-second ads, and the last 2 seconds said follow me on Instagram. From the first second it said follow me on Instagram with the techno track in the background, and it was all directly targeted to people into techno. So they were like, all right, so this is a really cool track, this is a really cool visual, this is who it is. Clicked onto his profile, because you can't force people to follow you on Instagram or Facebook for that matter as well. So then they looked at his content and thought, so this guy's played at this gig, this guy's played at this guy's, works with smaller people as well. You don't have to be massive for this, not saying you do. But just like ultimately it's all people directly into your content, and, with the same interests as your content, should I say, sorry. So basically they were just, love what they saw, and, you'll get a few hundred people unfollow you, like it's either because you're inactive. No social media is going to be retention. You always lose followers, but like he's kept it. It took him up to about 47,500. I think he's got like 47.3 now. So from that ad like 2 months ago, he's only lost 200 followers, which is not unnatural for anyone.
I guess that's the big part though. It's like, yes, you can design the best ad, but when they land, they need to see what they have to understand that what you're about and and all your other content. It's all your other content that you've already put up that's going to drive that follow, because they're going to land on your profile. And as you say, you can't get the auto follow. It's got to be land, look what you're about, and then the follow comes. So I think that's where probably people struggle with those sort of Instagram ads. They kind of just think they can run them and just grow following, and there's just nothing there. No, the content's missing there.
Yeah, 100%. Like if I was to build a profile tomorrow just solely on ads, my first thing wouldn't be, all right, let's build an ad. I'd literally probably put up like 50 posts before I did an ad. It's like, right, because they've got nothing to go back on. It just looks like spam then, or like if it's just stuff that's just not useful at all, like to them. If Like if I'm just posting personal stuff on a DJ account, they're like, well, where's it referenced that he's a DJ? He's trying to push this one track. Who knows if he's going to do it again? It's all in your content solely based. So if you want to run ads, don't waste your money and like do it straight away. Build up to that point, because ultimately, one, it's your own money. If it's labels money, then yeah. But like if it's your own money, then don't just jump the gun.
Yeah, exactly. Jono, what did that say, Jono? You could argue that if you're quite creative with music, you can just be as creative with social media. I've always thought this, Jono. I thank you for saying it, but I've always thought this. If you can be creative with music, you can definitely be creative with everything else.
Yeah, 100%. There's two different people in this world. There's people that like always put up like a block to social media, and there's the creatives, and the ones that do the best are the creatives. There's literally people out there getting paid to be content creators. Some of the biggest brands in the world will not have a marketing team anymore. They're paying content creators that are full time to do their marketing for them on TikTok, let's say. So like, if you can be creative, then it's absolutely life changing. Especially no matter what industry you're in. 100%. Making music, you put someone in front of a laptop and say, make me some music, 9 times out of 10, unless they know what they're doing, they're gonna fold it off. It's the same with marketing as well. It's like, as I come back to what I said before, it's not just posting, because otherwise, people like me wouldn't be in it full time. Everyone would just be able to do it, wouldn't they? But there's so many aspects to it, like there is so many aspects to music as well.
Jono asks, what things would you avoid in social media?
Like the obvious ones like hate, etc. Don't get yourself cancelled before you get started, or if you are started, don't get yourself cancelled. But mainly, I don't know. The easiest thing to say is like going back to the trial and error. Think how many, like, look at these people, try it yourself. If it doesn't work, but mainly, don't be a copy of anyone. That would be the biggest thing. Don't be the next someone. Like I seen this in a quote, like I think of it so well. Don't be the next someone, be the next you. Like everyone is so different. Like in terms of personalities, there's how many billion people in the world? 7+ billion people in the world. You'll never find a carbon copy of someone 100%. And that's why people like it. You're a one-man person. You're not a Manchester United Arsenal with 21 players. You're a DJ with 1 ear, 2 ear, 3 ear. You're all different personalities. 9 times out of 10, you're one person. So, if don't be a copy of someone, copy someone's personality. Like Fisher is so big because he's a personality. Don't copy his personality. Don't fake it. Like, don't be a fake like on social media, because you get instantly caught out so badly. Like if you're this person, like Fisher, like I've met him so many times, and he's like that in person. That's not a camera persona. That's him. Like he's like mad in a fun way in person. Like he's a class guy. But if you're like that online, then people meet you, and you just like it's all put on you. You're a bit of an idiot. People are like, well, people are so disinterested in that. So just be yourself. Like, and it's like growing a community. The more you are yourself, the more people buy into it. So don't try and copy someone else, like in content and personality. Just be yourself, really.
Agreed. Shedheads, Shelley will confirm I'm just as big an idiot as I am in the shed on stream as in real life. You're all good.
That's the best way to be. Like, plus don't take it too seriously as well. The more you take it too seriously, like especially people involved in the music industry, it's not really a massively formal thing. You won't see musicians on LinkedIn like what you do see their managers. You do see promoters, but the DJs you won't find on LinkedIn. It's not like a massively formal thing. It's just have fun with it. Like,
do you want to play a record?
Yes, I know.
What have you got? Did you say Rebuke's got a new single, or do you want to play something off of the channel?
His new track just came out today on Trick label. It's nice and Cool Trigga with Alan Fitzpatrick. Involves a Big Miz remix as well.
Where is the is it on YouTube, SoundCloud?
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube now. Right now.
Let's have a look. Look, we can go into here. Let's play this, and it's Rebuke. we go. That was Alan Fitzpatrick and Rebuke. Nice and Cool Trigga. That was great.
Yeah. Out today on all platforms.
Yeah, wicked. Love that. Johnny says, what would you say is better promotion, Insta, Twitter, or TikTok? Oh, that's a good question.
Right now, TikTok for its organic use and how many people are on the platform, and just because you could literally start off with zero. I've seen people with 10 followers have 1 million views, like straight away, done bang, like so many times, like so many like people I know have gone massive, like literally overnight, with no money involved. So 100% TikTok at the moment. Well, probably not 100%, but like probably like 70% TikTok now. I would go for.
But yeah, but use them all. Yeah, use them all.
Yeah. We get on them all. But like, if I was to put if I was to only choose one, it'd be TikTok.
Okay, that's good to know. I may have to adjust our DT strategy. I saw a thing on LinkedIn where it said there's no such thing as a social media expert with a little cross.
There isn't. People can say they're an expert in this, but they're lying to your face. Like I guarantee there's an update tomorrow, and then what they knew yesterday has gone out the window tomorrow. What they learn about tomorrow has gone out the window next week. So there's never seen an expert. Like the best way to describe it is the social media adapter. You've got to adapt to situations, and unfortunately, in music, it's not the old days of vinyl anymore. And word of mouth and newsletters and like giving out flyers. It's all on social media. So people have to adapt. Then people have got to adapt now, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you can do it from the toilet, and you don't have to go out in the cold and hand out flyers, and you don't have to go and stand at the side of the nightclub handing out CDs. You can literally do it from your house in your pants. So.
Social media ads are the new flyers.
Yeah, exactly. I feel we're there. Oh yeah, well, last one question. Last final one for me is, obviously when you're working in music and music was sort of started as your hobby and now it's your hobby and it's now your job. What do you do outside of music to relax and kind of clutter from music and kind of give yourself some space from music?
Yeah. So like I go on walks and like go to the gym and stuff like I go to the gym for like 45 minutes a day and then go walking for like an hour. Like always take time out. Like I live in the country, like sort of the countryside, Shropshire, like sort of fields all around us. So yeah, just mainly go out in there, and yeah, that's how you don't suffer burnout from anything. Just take time away, and leave your phone at home. Sometimes the phone's the devil, like so you got to leave it at home and just leave it away. People can wait,
Agreed. Yeah, I go for a long run. I just have my watch and that's it, and my phone stays at home. Thank you so much for doing this. This has been epic fun, and I feel like I've learnt a lot. And I feel like if you're in the chat, if you learnt something, let us know. One's in the chat if you've learnt something.
No, thank you for having me on. Honestly.
If you found this interview interesting, consider giving it a like and a comment. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and let me know your biggest takeaway below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'm back on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you can check out the schedule from the link below as well to see who's coming up in my interview series. I'll see you in the next Twitch stream or the next YouTube video. I'll see you soon. Bye.